Hello again, everyone. This is Bionic Slime. I'm your online voice for reviews of your choice, and this is another installment of BS Reviews. Before I begin my review today, I would just like to say a big, huge ass thank you to everyone who has been supporting, subscribing, and commenting on my YouTube page. I've been getting lots more anime requested reviews, a lot more positive comments, a lot more subscribers, and I just want to thank everyone for supporting my page because without you, I wouldn't have much reason to be doing this in the first place. So, thank you all so much. Continue sending me your anime requests. I just hope you're enjoying my reviews as I am enjoying doing them. But getting back to the review at hand, I will be reviewing an anime film from what, in my opinion, is the greatest anime director of all time, Hayao Miyazaki, with his probably one of his most infamous anime films, if not the most famous, Spirited Away. Spirited Away is brought to you by Studio Ghibli and Buena Vista Pictures. It was directed and written, as I said, by Hayao Miyazaki. It stars the vocal talents of Daveigh Chase as Chihiro, Suzanne Pleshette as Yubaba and Zeniba, Jason Marsden as Haku, Susan Egan as Lin, David Ogden Stiers as Kamaji, Lauren Holly as Chihiro's mother, and Michael Chiklis as Chihiro's father. The plot of Spirited Away. Spirited Away follows a young 10-year-old girl named Chihiro who is being forcibly moved to a new location by her parents. Along their journey to their new home, they discover a strange entrance to a cave that leads them into a supermarket that seemingly is empty. Chihiro's parents find some delicious smelling food and decide to eat it, but Chihiro refuses, saying that they should not. Good thing, too, because there was a spell over the food which turns her parents into pigs. Chihiro soon finds she is trapped in a strange, weird, magical supermarket world that is dominated by a supreme, grouchy, magical witch known as Yubaba. Chihiro meets a young boy named Haku who is desperately trying to help Chihiro escape and turn her parents back into humans, but in order to do so, Chihiro must sell her name to Yubaba and go by the name of Sin and work in the bathhouse to serve Yubaba and the other magical creatures that work there in order to find a way to live long enough in this magical world to get a way out and turn her parents back to normal. Review the plot. At first you might think this is some kind of like Alice in Wonderland kind of setup with a young girl tumbling into a strange new magical world. But what I liked about this is that the minute you got into this world, it was pretty much clear that this was more nightmarish than fantasy. I mean, Chihiro is easily freaked out by everything, and there's no reason she shouldn't be, because this whole situation of throwing a young girl into such a difficult task, having to work for a world she doesn't know, for people she doesn't know, for creatures who could just as easily kill, stomp, or eat her, is a pretty, endearing experience. And it's amazing that Miyazaki can put this, all this stress and pressure and weight onto a young child. But not only that, but to see how she handles it. And what's wonderful about that is that while you're having this serious, concept of a girl working to save her parents in this weird, strange, magical world, and it's a great mixture of reality and supernatural, which is what Miyazaki has always excelled at. I try my hardest to be unbiased, but when it comes to a Miyazaki movie, it's really hard not to just have overflowingly gushing love for the guy, because this movie is a prime example of just how vivid his imagination is. It's like he took the mystical, large-ass sized creatures from Princess Mononoke and quadrupled them into various unique, mystical, and original-looking creatures. It's such a fantastic world with a simple concept, a child trying to save her parents, and it's just interesting the stuff she learns along the way and the people she meets. It's a wonderful, excellent experience that is charming, heartwarming, intense, and above all else, fantastic to watch. Absolute visual orgasmic dream. Review the characters. As I said before, I was instantly admiring Chihiro for being such a young girl but taking on such a large load of responsibility. I mean, being thrust into this world, losing her name, almost losing her memories and her physical body, along with her parents being turned into pigs, and seeing how well she adapts to this world. I mean, even with all the shit that's gone down upon her, most people would have broke down and gone insane, sobbing, crying mess. But here, she takes heart and strength and actually manages to work with her situation. She still manages to be polite, sweet, and is a charming young character, mostly thanks to Daveigh Chase, who really gave off a great performance for her. She sounds just like a little young girl, stuck in this situation. the peaks for her tone, like when she says thank you, very polite, very well mannered. It's very good stuff. She can sound dramatic and deep at the same time, and it just really shows the nice range of quality for the character of Chihiro and her voice actor. Jason Marsden is a Disney regular. Actually, most people in here are Disney regulars, and he was good as Haku. He played a bit more serious, more hard-edged role, and I think that was good because I've seen him in so many other films and TV shows, and I've heard his voice, again and again and again. So it was nice to see him try something a little more hard-edged, even though his voice is, completely recognizable no matter what you hear him in. Susan Egan as Lynn, very good. She gave a lot of good charm and wit to her character. She's very good, another Disney regular, and I thought she had a very good role here as the character of Lynn. Suzanne Pleshette, in my opinion, was the best voice actor here. I thought she was phenomenal as Yubaba and Zeniba. She really fit the character perfectly. I mean, I cannot even imagine any other voice dubbed or Japanese just fitting that image of this angry, bitter witch, and she just fit it so perfectly. I loved the way when she roared, when she got angry at Chihiro. She was just fantastic, and I loved her. David Ogden Stiers, another Disney regular, as Kamaji. He didn't have a very big role in here, but it was very good. I actually didn't recognize his voice as that spider-legged little, I don't know, you want to call him farm worker-like person. He was an interesting character. His design was just absolutely incredible. He kind of looks like a spidery Dr. Robotnik or something. But he was good in here. I didn't realize Michael Chiklis was Chihiro's father. And I guess it's not a surprise considering they're barely in the frickin' thing. Review the animation and the music. Animation, what can I say? It's just a friggin' masterpiece. Miyazaki always knows how to capture us with his beautiful animation styles, and this movie is certainly no exception. This movie is visually fantastic. There's so many unique, interesting, and variety of creatures. The characters are so well defined and well detailed, from the sweat on their faces, to the wrinkles on their skin, to the wart on Yubaba's nose. It just looks so fantastic. The creature No Face, he was animated beautifully. I mean, just look at the design on the guy. It looks fantastic. I loved the music. It was deep, soft, melody-like, very good, very appropriate for this kind of film, for this kind of feeling of a child lost in a fantasy world kind of film. Just so perfectly drawn and scored on every level, you cannot help but just automatically fall in love with this film, as that's the magic of Miyazaki. Everything he does, even when he fails in certain respects, like with Howl's Moving Castle, the movie will always be a visual fantasy masterpiece that you can't help but just gush over and just get so attached to. Flaws about the film. This film only had a couple things that bothered me, and they weren't really flaws. They're more just kind of minor annoyances. One was I don't particularly care for Chihiro's design. I think she looks way too bony and kind of scrawny, and I guess you could say kind of ugly for a child character. It's not that I hate the design, I just don't like it. It's just not something I automatically get drawn into. And maybe that's how she was supposed to look, to make her look more realistic, but it's just a design that I just did not particularly care for. But the other thing that really bothered me is that the lack of real resolve with the character of Haku. They build up the character's romance between him and Chihiro, and when they finally get the whole nice revelation towards the end, it felt kind of cheated when you see Chihiro go without him. And I felt kind of pissed about that because you work up these characters' relationship, and I don't know, just kind of nice if maybe he went with her, or maybe you saw him leaving. It just would have been a nice sense of emotional gratification for the two characters because you see them build this charming little young romance. I just would have liked to see that, but again, it's more of a personal thing than I guess an actual flaw. Final wrap up: Spirited Away is just too wonderful to not like. It's a fantastic story that takes you on a wonderful journey that continues to entice you and just make you feel so enthralled, so charmed, so heartwarmed, and just blown away by the spellbinding visuals that Miyazaki has continued and will continue to wow us in. He continues to create beautiful characters. Daveigh Chase is wonderful as Chihiro. I love Suzanne Pleshette as Yubaba. She was the total package. She was scene stealing, excellent, well acted, well scored, everything. Jason Marsden, another good voice actor, very good. I like the Stiers approach here. Susan Egan, very good. David Ogden Stiers, enjoyed him. Music was fantastic. Animation was so amazing. Such an original, creative cast of characters and stories here. Just so much to love about this movie. It's hard for me to even muster up any kind of negative feeling towards it. Bottom line, Spirited Away gets a perfect 5 stars out of 5 stars. Well, that's all for now. This has been Bionic Slime for BS Reviews. Thank you all for listening, and bye for now.